Hello, and welcome to this video titled Other Suprasegmentals. Videos 10, 11, and 12 talked about tone. Often we add an extra mark, a diacritic, or accent to mark tone. But diacritics can be used for other things too.
Yes, sometimes vowels have extra qualities to them, added to the basic quality. These added qualities are called suprasegmentals, and you often need to mark these in an orthography, sometimes with diacritics. There are several kinds of suprasegmentals, and not all languages have these. Your language might have one or more, or might not. If you don't have them, you don't need to worry about putting them in your orthography.
What are some examples of suprasegmentals?
For this video, we will only talk about vowel length, nasality, and qualities like breathy voice. A long vowel is not bade, but bade. Nasal vowels sound like this, not t, but tee. Breathy voice is not ta, but ta. There are other suprasegmental vowel qualities, but we will only talk about these in this video. The important idea is that if one of these suprasegmentals makes a difference in what word it is, then it contrasts with other words, and you should mark it. It can help to see video 9 for this idea of contrast.
First, let's talk about a common suprasegmental, the length of vowels. In many languages, a vowel can be pronounced as either short or long. What do we do with this?
Yes, let's say we have two words, beta and beta, and these mean water and child. The only difference is how long the A is. Beta, beta. You don't want to write them the same way. The most common way is to write two vowel letters for this long vowel. So we would have beta, water, and beta, child. This is easy to do. Mbeleme of Togo has long and short vowels, tidate, good meal, and idati, reason.
Are there other ways to mark a long vowel?
Some languages use a diacritic over the vowel, like this. These should be used only if you don't mark tones with diacritics.
This seems pretty simple. Are there any complications?
Well, in teaching the orthography, you need to make sure there are lessons on double vowels being different from single vowels. It is easy to forget to write two vowels. Also, it is not common, but some languages use double vowels for other things, not just length. If your language does not have long vowels, you might think about this. One example, you can use two vowels to represent a different particular vowel if you don't want to use a special symbol for it. For example, if you have a vowel aw and you don't want to use the special character aw, then you might use double O instead. Second, a few languages use a double vowel to mark some sort of tone. But in most cases, there should be no problem with using two vowel letters to mark a long vowel. In many languages, consonants can also be lengthened. Use the same type of thinking to deal with these as we did with long vowels.
Okay, let's talk about another common suprasegmental, nasality on vowels. We want to mark this only when it makes a difference in meaning, right?
Yes, I will put a tilde like this over a vowel so you can see when I'm talking about a nasal vowel, as well as hear me. Ga of Ghana has ka meaning to hit and ka meaning continue. So you need to mark that nasal vowel in some way.
But you do not want to mark nasality when it does not make a difference in meaning. Tell us more about that.
Right. You do not want to mark nasality when it is not contrastive, that is, making a difference in meaning. Does your language make a vowel into a nasal vowel only when it is next to a nasal consonant, like M or N? If I say the English words teak and team, the E is nasalized before the M, but not before the K. An English speaker can't say team with the vowel not nasalized. If the only place a nasal vowel appears is next to an M or N, then nasalization is predictable and not contrastive. This N or M or other nasal could be after the vowel, like team, or before the vowel, like mu. Either way, if it doesn't make a difference in meaning, you should not mark nasality on that vowel. So, we do not mark nasality in English orthography.
We've talked about marking nasality on a vowel. You showed us the tilde. Tell us more about that.
The most common way to mark nasality is to use the tilde, as we have seen in this video, and put it over the vowel like this. This is usually pretty easy to do. Computers and phones can usually handle it, and people notice it. But if your language needs to mark both tone and nasality, the marking can get complicated. It is possible to put both an accent for tone and a tilde on the same vowel, like this, but it is harder to read. If possible, try to avoid stacking diacritics like this. It is possible to use a combination of diacritics both over and under the vowel, as Sarah Madinge of Chad does.
Using a tilde is one way to mark nasality. What is the other main way?
The other common way is to put an N after the vowel. The Moba language of Togo has P to give and P to bury. In the last word, the final N shows that the vowel is nasal. P, P. But you can only do this if you don't have another word that really ends in N, or even a syllable that ends with N. So, let's say you have a nasalized word without an N, like ton, and you also have a different word with an N or M after this, like ton. You want to spell these differently. So, in this language, you might spell ton as one word with a nasal vowel and ton as a different word with N at the end. There are several choices, but the main thing is, if nasal vowels make a difference in meaning, you need to mark them.
Let's move on to the next suprasegmental. Vowels can have other variations that are contrastive, and you need to pay attention to these.
Yes, a lot of languages have different types of vowels that are contrastive. We will just mention one. This is breathy vowels. The White Hmong language, spoken in several Asian countries, has two words, da and da. Do you hear the difference in the vowels? Ah, ah. Since this breathiness makes a difference in meaning, it is contrastive, so you need to write ah and ah differently. And of course, if there is one contrastive breathy vowel in a language, there will be others, and you need to mark all of them.
I see that. How do you mark breathy vowels?
There are several ways. Here are a few ways. In Dinka of South Sudan, breathiness is marked by an umlaut. In Tlacolula Zapotec of Mexico, they put H after the vowel. Nur of South Sudan underlines the vowel. You could mark it in another way, too. Many languages with breathy vowels are in Asia and use a different script than Latin script. These can have different choices. In one language of Laos, which uses a non-Roman script, two words look like this. La, hand with creaky voice, and la, come with breathy voice. They only differ by one symbol, but these symbols combine both the vowel and its quality. One has ah with creaky voice, one has ah with breathy voice. In some Asian languages, tone, vowel length, and breathiness or creaky voice all mix together as one package, and you can't treat them separately. But you have to have some way to mark the various combinations.
Can you give another example?
One example is White Hmong, which has a very complex system. In this language, they have short words, and no words end in consonant sounds. So, they can use consonants at the end of words to show tone and voice quality all in one letter. In the word for thorn, the S at the end shows low tone and normal voice. Paw. In the word for grandmother, the G at the end shows falling tone and breathy voice. Paw. Let's hear them both again. Paw, paw. As you can see, there are many possible ways to mark suprasegmentals.
So, how do you decide what is best?
It really depends on the situation. You need to talk to the stakeholders, test the different possibilities, and so forth. How you mark it can vary a lot, and the choice is a matter of what is acceptable to people.
In this video, we talked about some different qualities of vowels, suprasegmentals, and how they can be marked in an orthography. Some languages have suprasegmentals we have not talked about here: creaky voice, tense and lax, and others. But the same principles apply. If there's a vowel quality that makes a difference in meaning, it should be marked in the orthography. And if it is not contrastive, then do not mark it.